MV3 Traders Futures Trade Radio is brought to you by the Ultimate Trader's Guide, your one-stop shop for the most valuable income-producing information on the internet. Go to ultimatetradersguide.net to learn more. Link in the description below. All right, how we doing? The other window up. Hope everybody had a good week. A much better week than I did, as you can see from the title. Well, it's pretty much a rough week for me in terms of in terms of P&L wise. Other than that, I actually had a lot of growth this week. I think I mentioned either Friday or Monday, I was kind of struggling to be patient enough to hold the trades as long as I was supposed to. I've, definitely had an improvement in that area. But, and in terms of me executing, overall, I traded well that way. Only issues that I had was it was a really choppy week. And I kind of zoomed in too much, at the wrong time. It's kind of wrong place, wrong time to be zooming in as much as I did. But there was a lot of growth from that. And really what the issues that I had this week were more so technical than anything. So other than choppiness, it was a little rough yesterday, but earlier during the week I had some I had some technical issues to where I wasn't getting, orders were not filling. They weren't even being executed. I went flat, I think for a loss Wednesday, my last trade on Wednesday, and one of the accounts didn't fill and I didn't notice it until a few seconds later, and where it already, it had moved against me even more, so I kind of took a bigger loss than I was supposed to, just because for whatever reason my system didn't push the order through or whatever. Something didn't work right to where it didn't fill me or it didn't execute for that account. So I have been working on ways to improve the efficiency of my system and all of that stuff. So there's growth. There's been a lot of growth, even though not 100% where I would want it to be, but there's still been a lot of growth that's extremely valuable, and actually more so than the P&L. So that's, just a summary of my week, the reason for the title. So let's get into what we're looking at this morning for the pre-market awareness. Bring this up. Alright, there we go. Alright, so I got the pre-market awareness. You can see this. Here's our pre-market awareness. The lowest volume for the week. We also had a decline in the ATR from yesterday. I don't think that's the lowest of the week. I don't really put a whole lot of focus. It's just something I keep awareness to, but I don't really use the ATR. But in terms of volume, this is extremely low volume for the week. And what NQ is doing, so we had that inventory run, aka sell-off, on Wednesday, and yesterday we started the retracement over 50%. Took a little dip at the beginning of this session, and then we're continuing to, actually as we speak, lift the session high, closing Wednesday's range, coming back into the highs of the week. So it'll be interesting to see how today closes out. Very interesting price action this week. Interesting structure. ES kind of sharing the same sentiment with NQ and RTY. When I checked at RTY and YM, where they were just kind of just ranging around their PR -1. The main thing that I'm, just kind of in the awareness is to see what happens on this low volume day as we come back into the highs. We got about 3 minutes to the open. Some interesting volume gaps. near PR plus 1. And also, if we make it back down there at PR plus minus 2, that's not how the picture's painted like we're not gonna make it back down there, but you know, anything is possible. I need to, as I get ready, adjust my drawing for the session high. 30 seconds before the open, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. If I see something interesting worth mentioning, that'll be the only time I step on the mic for the A period, unless I just get done early. Just a reminder, this new format. Like our volatility is going to continue. definitely maintaining the same pace of the week. No, I'm not muted Origin. I'm like just focusing on my trades. Wasn't really looking at the chat, but I have 3 different feeds, and they all are in sync for me. Just off of a quick glance between Earn the Trades, Rhythmic, Apex, and Teton. We are coming back near the week's highs that I have marked off. I marked that off before the open. It was a really volatile open, and then we started to see some momentum. Some momentum that left some of my orders behind, and one was supposed to fill, but it didn't fill. I think that's just with, because I'm using the dumb on the charts. I think that had something to do with it. It's a little bit more funny about how it takes orders, I guess, because the same thing happened, I think, yesterday. I don't know. Weird things have been going on technically for me. But we are into the highs of the week. Which is relatively, well, I mean, it's NQ, so it's, we know what's quick for NQ. I was going to say it was relatively quick, but NQ it's kind of a normal term for NQ. As we come into these highs, we are starting, momentum is starting to slow down a bit. But we're still climbing, still pushing, lifting the supply. Almost at the high. I think I had the high at, what did I have it at? I put that in the pre-market awareness. 496. Oh, it's over right there. be right. The high's at 695 and a quarter. I don't know where I got 496 from. That's interesting. I have no idea why I got 496 from. I don't see that anywhere. I don't know, Origin, you might have something with the quotes. I know I saw 496, and now very interesting. Right, so we're starting to see some inventory drops as we come into these highs. Let me get back focused on what I'm supposed to be doing. Yep. Kind of threw me off. Let's see. We got about just a little over 8 minutes before P period. Still lifting the supply. Still lifting the session high. Break of the balance. another technical. So on that note, I'm going to be done for the day in terms of what I'm doing. Keep having these technical issues. It is low-key frustrating, but it is what it is. So we brought the supply up to that 666 area. There was a nice supply response off of that zone. We into the from a PR perspective, we are into the bull zone moon. Starting to drop the inventory. It was a really interesting, like first it was about 10 minutes of the open. We had that choppy volatility. It kind of, followed the same pattern as it's been. We've been, as I've seen all week, but we did get directional volatility. It's a bit quicker than the previous days. And now we're back to wholesale, doing their budgeting thing. And doing highs for the week. Budgeting for whatever the next move is. But find my screenshot so I can. Interesting how what they're doing with the inventory that they picked up from yesterday. I don't have the full thing like right here. Why not just bring it up here? But from a wholesale perspective, it does make sense how, yesterday we picked up that they picked up inventory like below 350. And at today's open, kind of collected some inventory overnight. And then they dumped that into supply. for, you know, this A period. We've transitioned into B period. I wasn't watching to see how volatile it was. Like we had much of a B force response. We're still showing some supply interest up here in the 664 area, 660 area. They're still continuing to lift the session high. From a power range perspective, about to break into deep space. We're looking at the break of, well, I'm looking at the break of 670 for that. The way they're painting this, it looks like we could possibly get some momentum to make it up there. Maintaining the awareness that anything is possible. Before we do that, we got to make sure we build some liquidity. A lot of inventory was supposed to come yesterday. The inventory was supposed to come in yesterday, but it's in anticipation. Yep, and I think a lot of the low participation overall has a lot to do with that. They gotta make use of what's available. I think that's why we're, you know, and well, it's not really, well, yeah, it's gonna be based on my opinion. I think that this quick movement has a lot to do with, it's just not a lot of participants on the board relative to, you know, historical, what we've seen historically. And they have been, like, with all that being said, what I've witnessed, from my perspective, they have been running their emotions heavy to build the liquidity to achieve whatever, you know, goals that they have of, you know, collecting inventory and running the supply. If you just take that inventory and transfer it into supply, just like, you know, you would for retail stores trying to sell some sort of merchandise. You got to run the ads, you got to do your marketing, you got to get people excited, get people fearful of missing out on the deal, on the sale, all of that stuff, so that you can create customers to offload the inventory that you collected. And they've been running the emotions so heavy that it actually got me this week, and not, to be honest. Get from the emotion, energy, liquidity, flow, and movement. Exactly. And that goes into that resiliency. So when you're resilient, those moments where you realize, in your awareness, and you're honest with yourself, and you realize that, you know, that you got played by the game emotionally, you get the opportunity to grow from that. It's easy to kind of just step into it and get triggered emotionally and kind of beat yourself up about it. But you can also take that opportunity to grow. And this is why I kind of emphasize on trading from within. Great trades come from within. Because once you get those moments of awareness and you realize what role you played into it, then it gives you something that you can work on. Which, in my opinion, is much better than any book or course or YouTube video, any of that stuff, including my own stuff. Once you do it from within, that's the best way to improve in this environment, not just with trading, but just in all areas of your life. Yep. So it looks like we're we had a nice little supply response off of A1. Starting to make our way back inside of this. All of these back into all this inventory this previous inventory, dropping the inventory back to a automation point at 652. Did get a mechanical response off of it, so something is using that. That's the way that I look at my indicators, as in what algorithm or whatever can be programmed using this indicator. And so that's the only ones that just basically the indicators that I put on the chart are indicators that I have witnessed a mechanical response to, telling me that some automation systems have been built using that information. And I just basically picked out the ones that I like. That's how simple my me picking out an indicator is. It's just what kind of mechanical responses do I see, and if I find one that I like, if I find the automated system that I like based off the indicator that's being used, and I'll just stick with that until I don't like it anymore. And then, but the ones that I've had on my chart lately, I've had them for a while. They're pretty consistent. And you got so many options to choose from, like, moving averages, Keltner channels, Bollinger Bands, and all this kind of crap. A lot of systems are built off of these statistics, or off of this data. So one is not better than the other. It just depends on what you like and what vibes with your frequency the most. And we're still dropping inventory. And I'm at the end of my trading window. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down for the day. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Appreciate your origin, for the love in the chat. Hope everybody have a good weekend. Until next time, trade it easy.